Welcome to Claude Code News. Version 2.180 is here, and it's a meaty one. Rate limit visibility right in your terminal, a new experimental channels flag for MCP servers, easier plug-in configuration, and some solid memory and bug fixes that large repo developers are going to appreciate. Ever hit a Claude AI rate limit mid-flow with no warning? That's now a thing of the past. Version 2.1.80 adds a rate limits field to statusline scripts, exposing both the 5-hour and 7-day usage windows. Each window gives you a used percentage and a resets at timestamp, so you can wire up a live indicator in your terminal status line, think tmux or your shell prompt, and always know how much headroom you have left before you need to slow down. Previously, adding a plugin meant a multi-step install flow. Now you can declare plugin entries directly inline in your settings.json using the new source, settings, marketplace source. The install tips have also been simplified down to a single plugin install command. Less friction, faster setup, especially handy when you're scripting environment configuration for a team or a CI box. Here's the experimental one to watch. The new channels flag, currently a research preview, lets MCP servers push messages directly into your active Claude Code session. That opens the door to event-driven workflows. Imagine a build server, a webhook handler, or a monitoring tool injecting context into your session without you having to manually paste anything. It's early days, but this is a meaningful step toward Claude Code as a reactive, connected coding agent. You can now set an effort field in the frontmatter of any skill or /command to override the model's effort level when that command runs. If you have a quick formatting command, pin it to low effort. If you have a deep architecture review command, pin it to high. This gives you precise control over cost and latency on a per-command basis, rather than relying on the global setting for everything. If you work in large monorepos, you'll feel this one. Claude Code now uses roughly 80 megabytes less memory on startup in repositories with around 250,000 files. That's a meaningful reduction. Less swap pressure, faster startup, and more headroom for everything else running on your machine. No configuration needed, it just kicks in automatically. This was a frustrating one. When you used resume to restore a session that involved parallel tool calls, the tool results would silently vanish, replaced by tool result missing placeholders. That's now fixed. All tool use and tool result pairs are correctly restored when resuming, so your session picks up exactly where it left off. A few more fixes round out this release. Voice mode WebSocket connections were failing due to Cloudflare bot detection on non-browser TLS fingerprints. That's resolved. Fine-grained tool streaming was throwing 400 errors through API proxies, Bedrock, and Vertex. Also fixed. The remote control command was incorrectly showing up for gateway and third-party provider deployments where it can't actually work, now hidden appropriately. And managed settings like enabled plugins and permissions.default mode weren't being applied at startup when remote settings.json was cached from a previous session. That's patch 2. Several quality-of-life improvements land too. The p-file autocomplete is now more responsive in large Git repositories. The effort command now shows you what the auto setting currently resolves to, matching what you already see in the status bar. Tab and arrow key navigation has been improved in both permissions and sandbox tabs. The background tasks panel now closes with the left arrow from list view, and CLI tool usage is now factored into plugin tips alongside file pattern matching. That's everything in Claude Code 2.180. Rate limit visibility, inline plugin config, the channel's research preview, per-command effort control, and a solid round of memory savings and bug fixes. If this was useful, hit subscribe to catch every release as it drops. See you next time.